it's time to let it rip. The race for governor and U.S. Senator to Michigan getting very interesting and very expensive.
The campaigns and TV ads have kicked into overdrive since the Labor Day weekend. Polls show both races are still competitive, and the winner is anyone's guess. So now joining us to break down the issues is head of the state's major parties. Bobby Shostak is the chairman of the Michigan Republican Party.
And next to him, Lon Johnson, chair of the Michigan Democrats. But first things first, we've got to ask you guys, why would you debate? Where are the debates? You guys can do it, but the candidates won't. Look, Bobby Shostak, come on.
There's all this talk. There's no reason to panic about debates. Debates are going to happen. What's most important is the candidates are across the state, crisscrossing, talking to the voters out there, the issues of Michigan's recovery, the issues of the great leadership.
Terry Lindland said she won't. Will she debate?
We just heard the chairman of the Republican Party say we're going to have debates. Is that right?
What I'm saying is their issues are out in front of the people today, and the discussion's going on every day. They want to talk about talking about debates. Let's talk about the issues.
We're ready. Gary Peters and Mark Schauer both have said they'll debate anywhere, any place.
Don't the voters have a right, though, to listen how both the candidates differ on subjects and really how they handle themselves when it comes to the tough questions?
Right, and the voters are seeing great leadership with Governor Snyder. They're seeing the results every day in their pocketbook. Michigan's unemployment is down 6 full percentage points. Personal income is up 3.5%. There's a road to recovery here that's very significant.
What they've seen is, increased unemployment, $1 billion out of education, and retirement pension tax being levied.
Let me ask you, Lon Johnson, will Mike Duggan endorse Mark Schauer?
He already has. In fact, he did it over Labor Day with Vice President Biden.
He's working so well, governor, though.
Well, again, there's government and then there's politics. And he's already endorsed Mark Schauer. He's working very actively to help us in the city of Detroit. We have every faith and confidence that he'll be there all the way with us through the end.
Now, in terms of Mark Schauer, a lot of people some claim they don't even know who he is. Yet it's a statistical dead heat, they're saying right now, between the governor and the candidates. What do you think that comes down to?
Well, look, you look across the state, Governor Snyder's policies, the reforms have been working. That message is getting out. And as it continues, we close in towards Election Day, that spread will continue, and Governor Snyder will win this election.
This is a governor we've got 50 days left. He can't break 45, and there's only 50 days left. It's because the voters know that education's been cut by $1 billion. Seniors are paying a pension tax. Women's reproductive rights have been curtailed. African Americans are living under emergency manager, and labor seeing their collective bargaining rights stripped away. You can't do those things and get over 45 in the governor's seat.
Are the Democrats going to take the position that the emergency manager was a bad idea?
Well, when you have over half the African Americans in the state of Michigan living under an emergency manager, having democracy stripped away, that's a bad idea.
You're calling Republicans racist?
No, I'm not calling Republicans racist.
He wants to go back 5 decades. 50 years of ignoring the problems. 50 years of kicking the can down the road. Governor Snyder, 4 years ago, said Detroit's going to be top of his agenda. Went into the city, analyzed it, put in a manager, found that it was necessary for bankruptcy. Coming out of bankruptcy, likely within 4 years.
6 decades ago, my grandfather fought for democracy.
And here we are.
And for this governor to come in and strip away democracy.
Trash is being picked up. Lights are back on.
And that's a good thing.
Emergency services are back. You want to go back to the past?
But we get there through democracy. You do not get there.
Are Republicans worried, though, how much that could hurt the governor? I mean, he made some unpopular decisions, as we're talking about.
Yes,
a lot of those people that he's impacted, though, are the ones that go to the polls.
You got to make tough decisions as a leader. You have to be able to move the state, move the issues forward. You can't leave them installed or push them back. That's what Democrats have done for 5 decades.
Lon's got a point, though. The governor should be higher up in the polls then. I mean, it's almost a dead heat right now when he's doing all these great things.
There's polls that have been going back and forth that had him up 8 points, have him even, have him 4 points up. The final poll will be on Election Day when the governor wins by a couple.
What about education? Has the governor cut education?
Absolutely not. It's been checked and rechecked. There's more than $1 billion more in education being spent since the day he took office.
True.
This governor, when he first took over, took $980,000 off the education plate to pay for a tax break to corporations.
It's just untrue.
That's absolutely true.
I mean, is that the truth? We hear this back and forth all the time. Was there a cut in education?
There was not a cut in education. Every year since he took office, he's added to the education budget to now, today, the current budget that was passed in June has $1 billion more on the education line item than was there 4 years ago.
That's math.
That's just a fact.
That's math. Let's just talk about what the parents are seeing. Crowded classrooms, having to pay for extracurricular activity. We've got dozens of school districts that are teetering on insolvency right now. Ask Buena Vista. Did they get a education cut?
Let's talk a little bit here. Governor Milliken this week endorsed Gary Peters. What's going on with that?
What's going on with Governor Milliken? It's not relevant any longer. Okay, what's relevant is
a fellow Republican is not relevant?
No, it's not relevant to this election. What's relevant to this election is what Governor Snyder is doing, what Terry Land will do to represent
It's very relevant what Governor Snyder has done to this state. And when he took over, we were at the fifth highest unemployment rate. Today we're at the third. We have more crowded classrooms, and teachers are seeing more crowded classrooms. Seniors are paying a pension tax. Labor is seeing collective rights. And how about them roads? How about them roads? The Republicans control the governor's office, lieutenant governor, AG, House and Senate, and they still can't get this roads fixed.
What about the fact that a lot of people fear, they don't like the time that Jennifer Granholm was in office, and we're seeing that across the board. How much is that going to hurt Mark Schauer when people head to the polls?
This governor's race is about the last 4 years. This governor has taxed pensions, has cut education, not fixed our roads, stripped collective bargaining rights away, and allowed the Republicans to run roughshod over women's reproductive rights.
Well, and that's interesting because Governor Snyder hasn't yet come out and endorsed or backed, it seems in public, Terry Lynn Land.
No,
is it because of her polarizing issues on women's issues?
No, Governor Snyder is fully supportive of Terry Lynn Land. He speaks of her all the time on the campaign trail. That's not correct. He's with her 100% as her becoming the next senator representing Michigan.
Does he feel the same way she does when it comes to women's issues? In terms of, she seems to be obviously against the pro-choice women in abortion, and then the fact that the flexibility in pay, that was a big controversy as well. She said the women rather have flexibility than a raise.
No, let's take it one at a time. Governor Snyder is a pro-life candidate, pro-life governor. Okay, Terry Lynn Land is a pro-life candidate. Governor Snyder, perhaps on some issues within pro-life, on exceptions, it may be different from Terry Lynn Land. But they are together on that issue.
Are they together with allowing employers to tell women what kind of birth control they can use? The Hobby Lobby case?
They support the decision of the Supreme Court.
So they support not allowing allowing a woman's employer to tell a woman what kind of birth control method she can use.
The issues that are important to Michigan voters is where's Michigan been and where's Michigan headed.
That's not important to women voters.
What's important to Michigan women voters is to the economy, their future, their health care, their children, everything.
About 53% of the electorate, I think, will have this on that.
Let's take a time out. Let's take a time out right now. We're going to get more to this. We're having more. The head of the Democratic Party, the head of the Republican Party coming up. We're not going. Don't go away yet. There's more to come on this one.